Hi Rachel, it is Saturday, May 21st, and I am really late because I got home late yesterday and I forgot.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Everything that's wonderful is what I feel when we're together. Brighter than a lucky penny when you're near. The rain goes, disappears, dear, and I feel so fine. Just to know that you are mine.
I probably won't have time to edit this video. It'll have lots of ums, and my brother's playing video games right next to me, and I will probably be a little bit distracted, but it doesn't matter. Well, the binder that I showed you at the beginning of the video was a binder for all my classes. We actually don't get too much review. A lot of it's got to be self-studying stuff, and that it sort of works for me. We got a really big sort of assignment, not really, for math, but we don't have to work the problems. What I'm doing is I'm going over my own tests, because working straight problems I don't have the attention span for. I will eventually build up that skill though, because I have a feeling that it will be useful. You said that you would have to pace yourself because you would study for 6 hours at a time. I have the exact opposite problem. I'm like, okay, study. Hey, look, that wall's really pretty today. I'll just completely drift off, and I end up getting nothing done. Well, luckily my memory isn't too bad, so I normally end up okay, but I need to build all those skills. I have like the attention span of a rodent. I also think you made the right choice in terms of classes for next year, especially with marching band. I mean, I remember last year, it seems like it's really fun, it's a really amazing activity, but it takes up a lot of time, and taking out the, I think, taking the regular algebra, pre-calc and trig, was it pre-calc? I think so. Seems like a good decision, because I don't want you to kill yourself studying, really. I do see how you would like Of Mice and Men because of the compassion element to it, and I really loved the sock puppet show. I still laugh about that. I think Hongda caught a video of it. We should look for it. I just didn't like the setting. I mean, I'm pretty sure if it was set in a different setting, I would have gotten the message more. Farming, like a farm setting, unless it's like Animal Farm, which was awesome.
You said you hated that book, Emily.
I hated that book?
That's what you said.
Okay, I liked the theme.
Yes, she did. I told her.
I might not have liked how it was written.
I like. We were gonna read it, and she's like, "That's a terrible book." That's because she's messing with you. She did.
In retrospect, the way that I remember it now, it wasn't too bad of a book. My brother says I hated it. I don't know. Unless there's talking animals involved, I think they pretty much bore me. Sometimes even when talking animals are involved, it still bores me. Just something about farms bores me. Sorry, farm people. I mean, I think it would be fun living on a farm. You know what? I'm not going to go too far into this. I don't like reading about farms. How about that? I don't like reading about farms. And I think the Odyssey was only talking about the Greeks, not the Italians. I never, ever heard anyone mention Italy. Maybe Malta, probably not. But that's probably Mrs. Reinhardt. She's a little bit uninformed when it comes to that. Just a tiny bit there. I said uninformed. I do not remember it ever mentioning Italy. Ever. It's Greece. It's ancient Greek. That's why I liked it, because of the prevalent themes. Like, their gods, you could tell how they modeled them to be a reflection of themselves. We have, like, an omniscient god. He's over everything. Them, they have different gods that have weaknesses and strengths like normal people do. So, it's a lot more relatable. You could just see how they would be able to make them up. By the way, we also read Oedipus Rex this year in English, and yeah, it was awkward. I can't imagine the sort of realization. Imagine yourself growing up and realizing that you murdered your parent and then you married the other parent. There's actually a mental condition known as the Oedipus complex, in which a son has romantic attraction to his mother. I don't know how that's treated. If it's a girl and she's attracted to her dad, it's called the Electra complex because it's dealing with another different god who had that sort of issue. It's also known as mommy or daddy issues. But yeah, that's unfortunate. That is so unfortunate. I'm sorry. That was horrible. Oh my gosh. Just reading that book, as soon as you get to that part, you sort of saw it coming. Once you got to it, you're like, wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful Oedipus complex, really. And then of course his wife hangs herself because she's like, oh crap, I married my son. Which even if you did marry your son, that's no reason to hang yourself. It just means you really, really messed up. Okay, that is so cool. It sounds like your relative fled during the Reign of Terror.
Emily, I get your new calculator.
What?
Craft up your old one.
You're not getting my new calculator, Daniel. I need it.
Yeah, there are two. You can have the crappy one that you craft up.
Excuse me, you're rude, and you don't get to decide.
Mom,
Okay.
I don't want to have that crappy one.
My brother's trying to get to my calculator that I have now. Mom, it has an updated interface that I need to do trig calculations
I
on.
need a new one, because I'm not going to use that.
Would you please be quiet? Which one's yours?
I'm recording this and I can't edit. Sorry about that. Well, it sounds like your relative fled during the Reign of Terror when the guy Robespierre ended up going crazy and stuff. I think it's really unfortunate because he started out being relatively anti-violence, and he sort of went crazy there. And I think it's so cool that your ancestors were part of the French Revolution. I might have some very distant relative who's French, but I do not remember their story. Apparently the reason they used the guillotine was not only because it was supposed to be painless, but because it was normally reserved for royalty or nobility, were the only ones. And their whole mentality was the Enlightenment thought, where everyone's the same. They're just displaying their constitution and yada yada. Well, they were like, we're going to make everyone equal in that respect, so they used the guillotine. And yeah, apparently your head stays alive for about 17 seconds after it's cut off. What? She's the one who mentioned it. And they were also a fan of guillotining people and then putting their heads on sticks and just running around with them because that's fun. Facepalm. Okay, yeah. They did a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Like, for example, they changed their calendar so that their week would have 10 days in it. So no one would know when it was Sunday, so nobody went to Mass anymore. Or church, or that place. There's so many different names. Good luck on your finals. Mine starts this Tuesday. And I have 2 finals on Tuesday, and then I have half days the rest of the week where I only have to do 1 final. I'm getting a lot less stressed out about it because the more I study, the more I realize that I pretty much got this stuff. I finally made it into the summer program for Algebra 2 Trig. And it seems like sort of a combination of what you're doing this year and what you're doing next year because Trig was pushed back to next year. Not pushed back, like you did a whole year of Algebra 2 and then you're doing a pre-calc trig class. Mine is Algebra 2 trig over the summer, and then I'll probably do pre-calc as a separate class at this school that I'm going to next year. It's just a different order. Today I went on a confirmation retreat Although, it was pretty fun. We did some cool activities, and I'm confirming soon. I don't exactly know the date. I forgot the date. Oh, I know the date, but I'm too lazy. It's too late at night for me to count the days till that. Once you get really late, I have no excuse. I have no excuse. I apologize. Just mention the punishment in your next video, and I will make sure to get to that as soon as I possibly can. Okay, good night. Sorry about that little bit earlier. I can't edit it out, so. Family dysfunction, yeah! Good night.